net outcomes, really the successes, the challenges and that. So for us, even though we weren't doing a specific project, this project is our project. Our collaboration here, the way we work, is our project. And so at the very beginning we had a field to plough. It was a new field. We had to plough this new field. And so this is why this little tractor is here. And we had a basic recipe of what had to be done. And so we brought together all the different ingredients of that recipe and we came up with something really nice to make a lovely team and bring it together. So that was, and bring the project together. So that was for us, we had to take all the different components, the different partners, the different approaches that had to be done and try and bring together one whole thing. We had to deal with the complications of Erasmus and the paperwork and get our heads around it and figure out the finances, etc. We had other challenges such as IT, which Tony stuck in here, small little laptop in here. IT is always a challenge. One of the other challenges that John mentioned there this morning is a changing Europe, and we just stuck this in here because there was an ad about Europe and it's saying, well, this guy's saying an EU army is on the way, now is the time to have your say. It's actually just to say that the EU is changing, and so we're working within an environment where there is change in the EU, and that we need to go back to the values that we started out with. And so we wanted to make sure that whatever project we did would actually be along those lines. So then, finally, we have started, in terms of our outcomes and our successes, we were talking about we're all motoring. So you can see all these different cars here. There's Ireland, there's Finland, there's Bulgaria, there's France, and there's Lergus, because Lergus is a partner too. And it's very important for us to have the national agency right there with us. So we're working hard, there's all the hard hats here, and we're working together like an orchestra towards the same goals. And one of our successes is that we have Lergus saying, fair play, that's good, it's going really well. So we are now at the stage where we had started to plough, and now we are ready to harvest. But we need to harvest in a smart way, smarter mowing. And to mow something is to harvest it. So we need to do it in a smarter way than just say, oh, we have finished the project and there it is. By now, we need to actually think about how we harvest what we have actually done together. And Kathy has the evaluation and thing.
So PJ did all of this.
I know.
I just jumped in every now and then and said, I want to put down this point and I want to put in this point. So recognizing that I kind of jumped in, kind of threw myself into the orchestra that was already in play, and the challenge of hearing the music and trying to support its continued kind of continuation really was what I wanted to name as the challenge. And I wanted to name here the evaluation and the management of that and support of that evaluation as a challenge, where I felt like we were climbing steps but then falling. If anybody's played Snakes and Ladders as a child or an adult, you get climbing up the steps but then you fall down the snake again. And I felt there was a bit of that going on for the project, that we kept going back to the start of some of the initiatives, like the financial reports. I gave some suggestions and we kind of went back again to the start, and we had the idea, and it's just about having the right template and the challenge of that for us as a team to make sure that we had the right supports in place to recognize your work, really, is where I was coming to from that. And then this lovely 3D tree that PJ helped me put together. There's a bit of this where I feel like we're still trying to get through the trees to see the powerful work that you have on the ground. So if I could, so this is all the success and the wonderful balloons here representing the celebration of your work. And PJ's written change minds, change policy, make it real. And the international policy of UNCRPD to speak to the policy element. And I feel like there's a couple of trees. I'm trying to see through the trees to present this powerful work that you are doing. You on the ground as partners are doing all of this work, and I feel like, Alex, you and I talked about this morning, about getting a sense of the real project, each other's work, and to feel like we as a team know our partners' work. That's what I feel like we want to do now. That's what I feel like we need to do in these 2 days, to have these informal conversations, to really feel like, I get what's happening in Bulgaria, and let me tell you about what happened here and how this how we can share the learning and also then name it as an impact and as a result. Even right down to the example of using the feedback forms from Finland in the work in Ireland. That's a powerful thing, but it's seeing the wood from the trees, if you like. So that was the metaphor, the 3D image there at play. So thanks, PJ, for putting that together.
And there's just one other little
Yeah.
piece there. Not just in, we have it written here in Ireland, but also in all our partner countries,
Everywhere.
because
Yeah.
we can actually we are making an impact in your partner countries. What I mean that is in France, the work you're doing in France has an impact and has potential for big impact. In Finland also, and also in Ireland. So we're working on that as well and saying, you know, it's not just our combined, and also use our learning wider.
Yeah.
That's what's next. How do we actually make it? How do we make most use of what we have learned together and also in our countries? So, for example, in Ireland here, I'm meeting with Pat, for example, and Bernie from Maynooth and Tony, and we're going to look at, as Irish partners, what is the impact of this project in Ireland? And how can we maximise the outputs of this project in Ireland, in an Irish context, as well as the European context? Okay. Thank you. So who's next?